The Rage of Melagris. Written and read by Michael Resitulis. Few among the legendary mages of tales had ever reached the worldly success of Melagris, and fewer yet had endured his hardships. Of them all, he had the most captivating story of difficult paths that lead to great rewards, and indeed, the riches and satisfactions that awaited at the end of that dark road that shuttered and blackened his heart and soul were plentiful and brilliant beyond belief. As Melagris' crowned friend he was known, for his magical prowess made him a close consultant and even friend of the great Emperor Anarion of Amaran of old then as it is now. And with his position came titles and land and fair palaces filled with hordes of slaves bound to serve his every need and satisfy his every desire. And Melagris was not only feared for his unmatched sorceries, but also respected and admired as a great man who had reached height through hardship by will alone. But what for Melagris had been the truest reward was the opportunity to punish all his enemies any way he wanted, fearing no consequence. For what had always haunted him was his burning hatred for all those who had so unjustly hurt him, all those whom his very soul despised. It was this unquenchable rage that never allowed him to find peace, a rage that grew into a hunger that could not be satisfied by all the riches in the world. And thus it was a truly happy day for Melagris when the Emperor's men brought him all those he had asked for. For weeks he tortured them, rejoicing in every scream, every expression of pain, intoxicated by the sight of blood and the smell of burning flesh. And when his enemies had been reduced to hollow husks, he delivered each final blow with cathartic ecstasy. And so the hungry beast inside him was fed and fell to sleep with peaceful satisfaction. And so years passed, and Melagris, feeling his heart and soul restored, became an even greater man. Melagris the Wise he was now called in Amaran of old and in the lands that had known the great sorcerer. And truly he had grown in wisdom, and now in his old age he much more sought hidden knowledge of the truth of being than secrets of power. And celebrated was the name of Melagris among all men of learning. But behind this veil of calm, the beast of rage stirred once again, threatening to awaken from its sleep with renewed hunger. And the old sage soon learned that rage is a thirst that cannot be quenched. And now Melagris, his rage once again burning, stands in the middle of the ritual chamber, summoning gods of death, demanding for the entrance to the world below to be revealed to him, so that he may enter in his mortal coil and torture the souls of his dead enemies, so that his rage may slumber once again. The gods of death are not sympathetic, but they cannot resist his mighty binding magic. The secret to opening the west gate is revealed to Melagris, and he performs the rite. The veil between the worlds is torn, and a choir of bodiless voices is heard hymning the name of the gatekeeper. Azrael, Azrael. The Pale One himself appears, and Melagris demands to enter. But the great angel does not recognize the petty sorceries of men, and he denies the mage entrance into the realms of the ultimate queen. And thus Melagris, the great sorcerer who once commanded the will of the gods, spent the rest of his life kneeling before the guardian of the west gate, begging him to grant him entrance, until his last day, when the angel welcomed with sympathetic sadness the broken, empty husk that once had been a soul.